Olcay Bayir is an Alevi girl from Turkey and the Kurdish nation, but she lives in the UK where she moved at whilst she was a teenager. How big cultural shock was it to move to the UK from Turkey?
Of course, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, and the cultural differences was huge. That's why it took my few years to have the adaptation and to learn the language and find myself. It wasn't an easy process. Yes, imagine that you were born in southern of Turkey, southeast of Turkey. And you're moving into one of the most crowded metropolitan of the world, one of the most developed city, and yes, it was a huge shock.
And what is the motivation for your songs? What you partly also write yourself? What is the motivation for your song text and your melodies? What are the roots of your art?
Root of my art, it comes from the places that I was born and grew up. Comes from the region called Anatolia. As being a Kurdish person and have a Kurdish identity and a bit of Armenian identity in myself. So being a reflection of the region is my inspiration actually. I inspire from my roots, which is all this diversity in ethnicity and also the religion, or I don't want to say religion, but my Alevi identity. It's the way of we live. It's a way of thinking, is rather than a religion. So how we perceive the world, how we see the world and universe and us and our identity, how we explain our existence in the universe. So yeah, all this thinking and having a different roots and the cultural roots and the musical diversity from the region that I was born. These are all my inspiration. I get my inspiration from the folk music, folk tradition. So yeah.
During the last 2 years, the cultural scene was shut down because of the pandemic period. How you lived this time, and what are your plans for the future?
Yes, and pandemic was not easy for everyone and for me as well. We did not, of course, there was no concert, but I used that time to create some songs, write some songs, and I recorded some songs remotely with the musicians around the world. I released a digital album called Inside during that time. It consists of the songs that I've written during that period, and I released it with the funding of the Help Musicians UK. So for the future plans, we started performing again, so which is very, I'm very happy about that. And I have an album project coming up, hopefully in 2024. So I am working through an album, a project album, and keep writing songs and performing. We will be performing at Walmart Festival in July. This is something that I'm looking forward to it. And today here we're in Würzburg and playing in a festival. So yeah, keep performing and keep writing and and sharing my songs with people. Yes.
How is the situation after Brexit for the art from the UK? Because it was one of the most interesting points that earlier, as of it was within the European Union, the UK and the artists living in UK were integral part of the European music and art scene. But afterwards, it had been made quite problematic for both sides. How is the situation currently?
I would say because we just came out from pandemic and then we did not really see the effects of Brexit fully on what we do. From now on we will see more. But as far as I know that I read, things won't be the same, and we will. And definitely for us musicians who travel around Europe, it won't be as easy. But of course, I want it to be. I wanted to really, make things to be smooth for us, because for the art makers and the borders and all these things, it should not be a blockage. But I really hope European countries and the UK make the necessary agreements and make things easier for us to travel around and share our music.